Okay, yes, this is not clickbait. This is drone tips. Okay, so let me get back to serious mode. Okay, so people, we're talking drone tips today. I got some tips for you guys, but first, let me just give a shout out to Street Sounder for lending me the Mavic so I could shoot and do some video. This package came in a post. Don't want to see my dress. So I thought I'd open it with you guys. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, look at this. Okay. What? I'm next to OP. Next to Great Arsenal. Shout out Great Arsenal. They've done it all random. So my work is on that page and then... What? This is the first time I've looked at it, so... Ron Timing's in here. Everyone's in here. Jesus. Okay then, if you're not in here... Ron Timing again. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Let's get back to the tips. Let's get back to the drone tips. Alright, so follow you on Instagram. You know you want to get some good drone shots like this and like this, and you keep asking me questions on how do you fly, how do you get up here, how do you go to these places, and what tips can I give from my experience to help you get better shots. So I just wrote 5 kind of things that some of them are kind of like basic, like common sense. I'm going to elaborate on them though, and some of them maybe you don't do, maybe it might help you, maybe you want to get better at flying the drone, more confident. So I'm going to run through them with you. Let's do this. Okay, so number 1 is basically because you're flying a drone, don't forget everything about being a photographer as well. So like you got to remember the same rules apply as on the ground, even though you're in the air. So this little camera here, alright, it's just going to work the same way as every other camera. You know, you compose, shoot, expose and get the shot. So just remember the settings, remember your exposure settings, remember your composition. Yeah, you want to get the best composition, and that's the thing about the drone, that's what makes it so amazing, is that there's so many compositions because you're in the air. You've got all that space. You can go really low, you can go really high, you can get in close, you can zoom, you can do panning shots. There's so many different compositions out there. It's kind of limitless really, so explore them and look for the best compositions you can. Most of the time I'll go to different, I'll get a shot composition and then fly to a next bit. Focus is important. Always remember to tap that screen, get it in focus. Tap the phone screen, get it in focus. You do not want to go all the way up there. Trust me, I've done this. Gone all the way up, find a banger and be like, yeah, so excited you forget to even focus it, and then you come home, put the memory card in and all your shots are blurry and you're like, what the hell, I just wasted all that time, I have to go and do it again. Okay, so remember to tap that focus. Even if you think it might be in focus, just tap it to be sure. Also use the aids. If you feel that your shots are never straight, or your shots are like your exposure is always a bit high in the highlights, there's lots of aids on the app when you're taking pictures that you can you know, you can use the highlights to tell you when the highlights are blown out. You can use the highlight exposure. I don't think it's actually called that, but yeah, it's something to do with the highlights. It tells you when the highlights are always blowing. There's another thing. There's a grid lines, like you're having a phone, like an iPhone. You've got the grid. You can turn the grids on, just to make sure that your shots are straight or your exposure is not too high. Use them. Like, no one's going to tell you off for using them, so you might as well, to make sure your shots are always going to be well exposed and the composition and your lines are going to be straight. Okay, so number one is remember the camera fundamentals. Remember to also take your camera brain into the ears when you get your drone in the air. Alright, if you feel that you're like not comfortable with the drone yet to be, you know, flying around the city or flying around in some tight areas, find an open field to practice in. Yeah, get more comfortable with the drone before flying in the city, tricky areas, etc. Like, find an open field, just fly it, just get used to actually controlling the drone, and then start practicing, like maybe like using it without actually looking for the drone, like using it to control it without looking at it directly, like you look at the screen. I've had to do that a lot of times to get out of tricky situations. But the better you learn to fly your drone, the better your shots are going to be. So always learn, practice, repetition. Okay, that should have been number one, but I'll put it as number two. But anyway, number three is wait for GPS lock. Ignore kind of wind warnings and system error. If you get that system error, like I said in my other video, bring your drone down, swear down. System error check app is the worst thing you can have to your phone. Use return to home if things go wrong. Do not be scared to use that. I'm always like thinking that I could just bring it backwards, but I should use return to home whenever things get haywire or I get in everything like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Return to home straight away. And make sure this is a funny one. Make sure your memory card is like formatted and got space before you fly up. I've done this before where I've gone up and my memory card is full and I've just gone all the way up, wasted all that battery, wasted time. I can't even take any pictures. You don't want lower res copies on your phone, so make sure you there's space on your memory card before you go up. Okay, so number three is kind of little tips that you need to remember. GPS lock. Ignore wind warnings, because this drone can handle some crazy wind. Trust me, I've flown it in mental wind. Yeah, it does get over panicky with the wind warnings, but I've never had a problem with the wind, unless it was like, you know, gale force wind. Use return to home warnings if things go wrong. Check memory card is empty before you fly up. And yeah, those things are like kind of little things you need to remember. Okay, number four is if you have a crash. Now, if you have a crash with your drone, try to minimize your losses. Okay, if it goes in water, you're kind of stuffed unless you can get it out. But if you crash into something, the worst thing you can do is panic and make it worse. Okay, so you got to kind of like stop the drone. If it crashes, just try and stop it. Right, emergency stop or just get it down, okay, depending on where you crash, but you want to minimize the damage and the loss. Of course, some crashes you can't do anything about and it's not out of your control and you just crash, and that's just a pity. But when you crash, try to stay calm. It's the hardest thing because you're just thinking, oh my days, my drone, my money, my drone, my money, and it's just, you just feel like, you know, I've crashed with a drone before and it's not nice, alright? But just try to minimize, don't panic, minimize the losses. Sometimes you can get away with crashes and your drone still works. Number five, right, so this is kind of like tips, but this is like the last one, but this is what that a lot of people don't do, and it's kind of a sketch one. And basically, always fly on the full battery. Okay, I've done missions before where we flew on a half full battery and I had to land it, emergency land it in the O2 and run around. We had to drive all the way around. It was such a mad day. We had to drive through the battle tunnel, get to the other side, run round, and then the drone like was still connected to we reconnected to the controller, so we could see what we could pinpoint it, and it died just as we got there. So we could see it. I had to climb over, grab it, climb back, but if I had a full battery, that would not have happened. That only happened because I didn't fly on a full battery, and I didn't have enough power to bring it back. It just started going into emergency landing mode, and it would not fly back. So always find a good full battery. Half-flown batteries you can fly on a half. Like if you've only got like 2 batteries and you want to go up and just get a shot and come down, that's fine. But I'm talking when it's like a mission and you've got to actually fly to the place to shoot and then fly back. That all takes up juice. So you got to remember, like a lot of people, we remember to fly, but you forget about the trip back. The trip back needs power, you know. So make sure you think about that. How am I getting back? That is most important one. Okay, so yeah, that's all the drone tips I've got for you guys today. I hope you like the content I'm dishing out for you guys. I'm trying to think of more videos where I can benefit you. I will be doing some vlogging when I travel to other destinations, and the new drone, I've ordered a new drone, so the new drone should be coming soon, and the travel trips should start flowing as they did before. I've got nothing else to say, so I'm just going to wrap this up. I hope you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Run it. In the air now. Hands in the air.
Run it. Hands in the air now. Hands in the air. Run it.
Okay guys, girls, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Bemorephotos back with another video, and we're talking drone. Where is the drone? Duh.